The Arctic Research Plan is a policy-driven plan, which means it is responsive to 4 Arctic policy drivers identified by IARPC. Each research goal within the plan supports 2 or more of these policy drivers through its research objectives. I'll briefly describe each policy driver, then provide some examples of research objectives within the plan that are responsive to them. Some objectives are responsive to more than one policy driver, as will be seen. First, the plan organizes interagency efforts to conduct research that enhances the well-being of Arctic residents. All of the research objectives in the Health and Well-being Goal, from research on social determinants of health to research on energy security, support this driver, as do objectives 4.3 and 7.2, which relate to subsistence aspects of ecosystems research. Objective 8.1 integrates research on cultural, safety, and infrastructure issues for coastal communities, while 6.4 concerns the intersection between permafrost state and infrastructure and freshwater systems that impact human well-being. Both Objective 2.3 in the Atmosphere Goal and Objective 7.3 in the Terrestrial Ecosystem Goal concern research activities that support understanding about changing Arctic wildfires and their impacts on communities and health. The second policy driver organizes interagency efforts to conduct research that advances stewardship of the Arctic environment. Both the marine and terrestrial and freshwater ecosystems goals describe several objectives that strongly support this driver. Additional objectives described under the permafrost goal relate to permafrost disturbance and carbon cycle issues of relevance to regional stewardship. Under the coastal goal, Objective 8.2 advances Arctic ecosystem and environmental health through the coastal lens. And finally, Objective 1.1 supports integrative approaches to human health that recognize the connections among people, wildlife, the environment, and climate. The third policy driver organizes interagency efforts to conduct research that strengthens national and regional security. Specifically, these objectives all inform physical process understanding, sea ice, coastal, permafrost, etc., and model improvements. These are the efforts that advance short-term environmental prediction and longer-term projections of future state of the Arctic region. National security concerns extend beyond the Arctic through issues like sea level rise. Environmental intelligence objectives support the forecast and planning tools necessary to operate safely and effectively in the Arctic. The fourth policy driver organizes interagency efforts to improve our understanding of the Arctic as a component of the global system. Many objectives already listed contribute to this understanding through supporting additional efforts to understand mid-latitude weather connections, linkages between global ocean circulation and Arctic change, Arctic contributions to global carbon budgets, and the impact of sea level rise globally.